My name is Jess Bushman, and I am a clinical dietitian for Nationwide Children's Hospital Sports Medicine Department. I'm also a board-certified specialist in sports dietetics, which means all of my patients that I have in clinic are athletes. So I talk to them a lot about hydration and things like that, especially in the summer hot months, and that's pretty much what we're going to focus on today. But first, I have to introduce my special guest.
I'm Kelsey. I am a tuba player and sophomore rep here at Olentangy.
Woohoo! So yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about hydration and things like that. So, girl, what questions do you have for me?
Okay, so we hear a lot about hydration around here. Why is this so important to us?
So, may I ask, what have you heard about hydration? Like, what are people constantly encouraging you about?
People say always drink water, especially if you're in the sun or working out a lot.
Yeah.
But I hear stuff about energy drinks, but don't drink like too much energy drinks or rely on energy drinks. So what really is hydration?
Yeah, hydration is at the root level, making sure that our bodies have enough water to sustain life, right? That sounds really drastic and bold and things like that, but we do. And when you lose a lot of fluid, whether you're out in the sun marching or you're running or exercising, or you're just hot, right? Like we're just sitting here and we're in air conditioning right now, but you want to make sure that even no matter what you're doing, if you're hot, it's humid, or you're actively, active or working out to some degree, that you are losing fluids and you need to replace it. There's a lot of importance with hydration. We'll talk about concerning signs and symptoms later, working in energy drinks and things like that here in a little bit, but hydration is a really big part of muscle health, making sure our bodies are overall healthy. Going back to the muscle conversation, let's picture a rubber band. Have you ever had a rubber band that's just really dry and old? Yeah, and like you go like this and it breaks right away? Then you've had these nice little stretchy elastic rubber bands that bounce back into place, no problem. They stretch and they hold everything that you need, right? That's a hydrated state. That's a hydrated muscle. So when you're dehydrated, you run the risk actually for higher risk of injury too, and other scary concerning signs and symptoms, which again we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. I hear we are getting hydration posters this year that will be around the band room. What is that all about?
Yeah, so because like you said, we hear a lot about this, as visual reminders, there will be posters around the band room and I think other places too. I'm not sure. We'll have to look. We'll do like a scavenger hunt, right? It's really important that you use them as visual cues or reminders to be like, oh man, it has been a while since I had something to drink, or like I actually really am thirsty, right? So a couple things that they're going to remind you of is, I'm going to read off a list for this, is to start drinking 10 to 30 ounces of water 30 minutes before you start rehearsal or outdoor events. So 10 to 30 ounces is a wide variety or a wide range, right? So for everyone, that's a little bit different. And as I go along, what I'm going to emphasize is that you have to hydrate the best for you. Everyone is a little bit different, but 10 to 30 ounces. So we're going to use this water bottle a lot as a visual reference. Okay. So this is 20 ounces, right? So 10 to 30, I didn't even do that coincidentally, right in the middle of your 10 to 30 ounce recommendation. And this is what you would want to aim for at least 30 minutes beforehand, because you don't want to be dehydrated or under hydration before you even start sweating. It's a lot easier to come in when you've already prepared for it rather than trying to keep up when it's already too late. Does that make sense? Other things that's going to say is then drink 8 ounces of water every 20 minutes for the first 2 hours outside as you can, right? So let that be a reminder that when you're taking breaks, you need to be drinking water at every single break, and think like, well, I'm not really that thirsty. Take advantage of that break. Bring a water bottle with you, whether it's something like this. Bring multiple in a cooler or a big cooler that helps with ice to keep the water cool, because you don't want to drink hot water, right? Especially when it's hot outside. So keep that in mind. And also drink 8 ounces of an electrolyte drink every 20 to 30 minutes starting the second hour of rehearsal outside. So electrolyte beverage, you don't always want to start with that, right? Because we don't want to get burnout with that, right? Like you're just drinking that same thing all throughout the day. And also those have calories and carbohydrates where we'll talk about that too, that it's not bad. You need those things for energy, but we really need to be focusing on water as means of preparation, hydration first.
Could you help us understand what 8 ounces looks like?
I would love to. So this is about, because this is 20 ounces, so we'll just say like just under half of this water bottle is 8 ounces, right? So really not too much, but we think of it, we see 8 ounces, we're like, that is a lot of fluid, right? So this is 8 ounces of milk, and then this would be 4 ounces of juice. But either way, it's just to kind of see how they match up, the size of the cup. Yeah.
What are some signs if I'm not drinking enough? What signs could I see to show that?
Have you ever yourself felt really dehydrated or like you haven't drank enough? What have you noticed yourself?
Sometimes a sore throat.
Yeah.
It's hard to focus on things. My vision gets kind of fuzzy. It gets really hot.
Yeah. And for that, that's her symptoms, right? And everyone's a little bit different. So yeah, the dizziness, the fatigue, or just really all of a sudden you're like, I just don't feel good, right? Or cool, clammy skin, or really dry, hot, red skin. If you've passed out, right? I hope someone is helping you. We don't want that to happen, but if you feel like you're about to pass out, sit down, right? And really, another big one is dry mouth. I don't think a lot when people are thirsty, like I'm kind of thirsty right now sitting here. I'm like, oh, my mouth is dry, my throat is dry. Pay attention to those thirst cues, because that's your body's really only way of saying, I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty, please listen to me, right? So make sure that you're listening to those thirst cues as well. And again, more scary, concerning signs and symptoms, no matter what, if you just don't feel right, and maybe you haven't done really well with hydration, or you're just not sure what's going on with you, make sure that you see a band nurse before it becomes an even or scarier problem.
Okay. What counts as a fluid?
Yeah, we hear that a lot too. It's like, do I have to drink water, right? So yes, water is the preferred hydration source. So when you are hydrating, focus as much as you can on water, right? An electrolyte beverage will be provided for you, but you want to make sure that most of the time you're doing water. Don't be using the electrolyte beverage as a casual beverage spread throughout the day or at lunch or with meals. That's generally speaking, right? There are some exceptions, and if you have any questions like that, make sure that you ask your doctor, ask a sports dietitian if you have questions about that. But focusing on water is really important. Other things that do count as fluid examples would be milk or chocolate milk, 100% fruit juice beverages, trying not to exceed, this is for, like I said, 4 to 6 ounces of juice per day. And then also sauces and smoothies and soups count as fluid. I think in the summer, the last thing you probably want coming home from band camp is a soup or a stew, but they do count. And then last but not least is high water content fruits. So let's think about this. So what is a fruit that you bite into that's really juicy? Apples, watermelon, pineapple, one more. Oranges, perfect. So yes, all of those count as high water content fruits as well.
Yeah. Okay, are energy drinks a good source of fluid or hydration?
Yeah, and I will honestly say that it's very rare that I say no, never, right? Like it doesn't fit in, But energy drinks, looking at the research, using examples that I have from athletes, counseling them one-on-one, I haven't seen anything good, both in the evidence, right, in the research, and from testimonials with athletes where energy drinks are a good idea, right? If you're low on energy or you're feeling underfueled or underhydrated, you need to take a good look at what you're eating, how you're hydrating, how you're sleeping, how you're taking care of your body, versus to be like, I'm low on energy, I need an energy drink, right? So, and they also have high-powered stimulants in them, things that like above caffeine even, that cause your blood pressure to go up, your heart rate to go up, things like that you'd rather just not have to deal with, and instead focusing on good nutrition and good hydration instead.
Okay. What if I don't like electrolyte drinks?
Okay. Some of my athletes don't. The taste is too strong. They're like, or if I'm going to keep working out, or I've got a long day of practice or something like that, like it sits funny on my stomach and I don't like the way it makes me deal. It has a strong flavor. No problem. You can cut it half and half with water. So if you fill up half your cup with the electrolyte beverage and do the rest with water, you'll get a diluted variety. You can also make your own. Believe it or not, I know. It's real fun and it's easy. It's just hot water and cold water and 100% fruit juice, salt, a little bit of sugar, and lemon juice. Voila! And it does taste like diluted sports drink because it's less fruit juice and more water, but it gives you those good electrolyte replacements that you're losing through sweat when you're, again, working out and doing things all day long. And if you don't like it, it's not that you don't have to drink it. Like if you really don't like it, that's okay. But then you need to really make sure that you're paying extra attention to, again, if you like milk and juice and water and eating well throughout the day too.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Did I miss anything? Do you have any other questions for me?
I think we're good.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for tuning in today, and we will see you later.